All right, we're going to be doing our Eastern Conference midseason playoff predictions. We're going to start off with the play-in. Lauren, what do you like? Who do you like in the East play-in?
All right, man. My Magic, baby. I had them as 10 in the preseason prediction. I got them as 7 this time. They're I think aren't they 7 right now in the
Yeah,
real?
they're
It doesn't
7
matter.
right
There's
now.
somewhere around there. There's like
Or
a
they're 8.
four-way almost tie between a bunch of teams. They kind of moved down. They started off really
They're
well.
8.
They do have the easiest schedule for the rest of the season now. So that's part of the reason why they kind of slid down. A lot of tough matchups. Definitely. So I think they're going to be able to kind of hang around that area at 7 now. I hope so. And then I got them beating the Cavs, who are now my 8th seed. They've been looking better recently, a lot of injuries. I just still think they're going to finish around 8th seed. I don't know if they're going to get that much healthier. They just have a lot of guys kind of in and out of the rotation. I have them as my 3 seed in the preseason prediction. I believe the Cavs will beat the Magic on the road and take that 7 seed spot for the playoffs. Then you have, for me, I have the Nets at 9. They're 8 in my preseason prediction. I have the Hawks at 10. They're 9 in preseason prediction. And I think
If the Hawks making it.
you're running the other Raptors. They're basically pretty much trying to tank and trade Pascal. So I don't think the Raptors are going to stay in there. That's just kind of where that comes. And I don't think the Bulls are going to stay in there either because they're kind of trying to tank.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if they both were trying, I think they might beat out the Hawks. I just don't think both of them were.
Well, are the Hawks going to try to tank? That's another question.
That is a good question, but I think they will make a move in the reverse of tanking. I think they're going to try to make some sort of a move, but I don't know. The Hawks are up in the air. We've talked about them on several episodes.
There was a lot of talks of DeJounte Murray getting traded.
Yeah.
The Spurs even.
And even Golden State has popped up now too, which I don't understand why, but that's a whole nother story.
Defense.
You know, I actually don't hate that. You know, a defensive point guard.
Yeah.
But then you have what, like 5 point guards?
Well, I think
That
he
is
can
true.
play on ball. Well, I think
He
they
can
would
play. He can play.
But they need a guy off the ball because they have so much like all of that ball movement in the Warrior system.
Well,
They already
so
have with MC, Chris Paul, and Steph Curry.
I
to
think
play all.
theoretically, DeJounte would be the point guard.
Yeah, I think Curry plays really good on
Yeah.
ball.
And then you bring Podziemski off the bench.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, CP3 too.
We're getting
We're getting off credit.
Trade
A lot of
CP3
different
for
things.
DeJounte.
yeah, overall though, I just
But
it's just
that wouldn't solve the Hawks problem.
Then you gotta
the
trade
Hawks are just
Trey.
trying to dump money.
But then you gotta trade
Oh.
Trey after that.
No,
if
you're not
getting
gonna.
CP.
You're not
If
gonna.
you get CP3, you gotta trade Trey.
Interesting things. I
or
think
you
we
just
keep it on. This might
focus
be-
on keeping Trey. You don't trade Trey because you get CP3.
But if you're
But I mean,
If you're
CP3
tanking, you do. If you're tanking, that'd be awesome.
But I mean, I don't
that's
think
great.
they'll give up Trey just because he's young and still really good.
I talked about this earlier. I don't want to get it too much off topic, but I think Trey Young might be a great move because this was just a downhill trip. He does have a lot of liabilities to his game, and he's been the clear number
but
one.
he also you can get
And I don't know if
Well,
in that organization they can convince him to not be the number one guy.
But like, what do they trade him for? Just like a bunch of picks?
A lot of different things. We
Well,
talked
they-
about this in our other episode.
Did we?
We talked about this in the Tanker Crank.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I think
Anchor Crank Eastern.
Yeah.
trading Trey Young like your number one, like he's your guy. He has been
Yeah.
your guy since like he was drafted. I feel like it's the ultimate like sign from a GM to be like, okay, I messed up.
It's-
Like, we gotta set the reset button.
It's unpopular, and I think the GM wouldn't do it unless he had job security. But I think it's very viable logistically.
I feel like
and
Atlanta's not in that
success.
position just yet.
They don't seem to be. So I
They
agree
put
with-
a lot of chips into the Trey Young trade. Is that the right term?
Which
Or-
they messed up on that trade.
Well, yeah, the DeJounte trade, they don't fit, obviously. And they do have a lot of enticing pieces, and it's weird how it. I mean, you kind of get why it doesn't work, but it's also kind of weird how it doesn't. Because I feel like
I agree.
this team
A lot of
looks
that
good.
is leadership, though. From
For sure.
Nobody
Young
has
has a
that.
lot of liabilities, including off-court / intangible liabilities,
And
including
DeJounte's a
leadership.
thug. Sorry, I had to say
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
And they're just not leadership on that team at all, and Trey Young
It's like
certainly
putting
did not help that.
the two like kids that like always talk in the back of the classroom together. Like that's
Yeah.
essentially what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I mean, and then, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, but I don't want to get too far off topic here, but the question is, who's going to
We're
trade
down
for
that
Trey
road.
Young? Like, I mean,
Good question.
he is a system in its own. You can't just
But
trade
not a
him.
great
That's
system.
part of the
You kind of have to
difficulty.
build
of him.
around him.
Yeah,
Which is the problem.
The Jazz, Utah Jazz,
I feel like it's
Potentially.
guys, yeah.
potentially. He's still a young guard. They
I
don't
mean,
have a point
through
guard.
A team that doesn't really have an identity. I think they could.
that's
Yeah, that's the type of team that would trade for Trey Young. But also, I think just because he's such a ball dominant player, it's hard to trade for him mid-season, and then like try to work him into your system. And
Oh,
back-
that's so true.
If
That's
you're
so
already
true.
a team that's looking for identity, though, it doesn't really hurt you. So
well,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
building
Well, so he would
Draft
have to
would
go
be
to another tanking team,
Oh,
or
I
not
would
tanking,
agree.
but just
yeah.
I feel like
mediocre.
this is
I
not
mean-
really off topic, but I feel
I
like
think those
Luka,
are really teams
Luka is
looking.
very similar to Trae Young in
Yeah.
the aspect that he is his own system.
Oh, yeah.
You build around Luka.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to plug him into a
Exactly,
pre-existing system.
In a crazy world, you could say the Lakers. They've been looking for
Oh,
a point
boy.
guard. LeBron would obviously give him a lot of that
I don't hate
leadership.
that at all, actually.
I, as a
And,
Lakers fan, do hate it. He doesn't bring any defense, obviously. Again, a lot of liabilities with Trae Young.
But imagine that
But
Trae
in a crazy
Young-
world, there's a lot of fits around there, right? You can get potentially Rui or AR as the Hawks. There's a lot of potential pieces that
But
could
at
be
the same
interesting.
time-
I don't think it's happening.
He's replacing D'Lo, who has 0 defense.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
just more of a scorer,
True.
more assists.
More
He could, be,
playmaker.
he could be the second Kyrie to LeBron, right? LeBron takes him under his wing. Trae Young has to kind of take that, be a little bit more humble. He has to be willing to kind of understand it's not.
yeah, he's
not
not
the
the
guy.
guy there.
It's basically a whole other experience like a Russell Westbrook, but this time you actually have spacing
and he's still young, so you could
take over.
build around your. I mean, you have to.
In the next year or two.
Yeah.
kinda-
It will be such an interesting trade, but it's not. I don't think it's the worst.
Well,
I've
I
ever
think
seen.
that's the only team that would, or not the only
No.
team, but the only like
The only contending team.
Yeah, that would go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're down a terrible rabbit hole, so let's
Doesn't
get
matter.
back
It's
on
a
track.
little fun.
We do that. We do
Couple
that.
things in there.
But
Anyway, so back to that.
Fuck.
I think yeah, either way, either whoever the Hawks or the Nets would win. I believe it would be actually the Hawks. I do think the Magic with their length, their defense would win and make the playoffs as the 8th seed.
the Hawks.
Again, making it through the.
Well, every year they.
Not the Hawks, the Magic. The Magic.
oh,
would win.
sorry.
Sorry, with the length, the defense.
I was about to say every year the Hawks find themselves at like the bottom of the plane just somehow.
And then they go undefeated in the play-in every time.
Yeah, and then
Great way to stay
lose in
mid.
5.
Yep.
They've been mid for a while now.
They've been mid since Trey.
God.
Well, actually, that's not true.
Well, they went to the conference final.
They did, but they were low-key mid there. They were just like a magical Cinderella.
They got a lucky
That was
Sixers-
low-key a Cinderella.
Sixers choke.
Trae Young was playing out of his mind, and then Ben Simmons was
The biggest
doing other
choke artist
things.
ever.
And the Sixers have been
Cam
choking
Reddish
for a
was
long
amazing.
time. So
yeah.
it was interesting.
Yeah, what they choked like 2 straight 20-point leads in that series. Sixers.
And really sold.
Sixers have been doing things weirdly for a
I can't.
while.
I was so. I mean, because I was a big Trae Young fan, and when that series happened, I was like,
I hated it.
I
Well,
love
the
it.
question is then. So what are you playing? Who is your playing?
oh
Are
yeah,
the
yeah,
Hawks
yeah.
in there? Because you were surprised I had them in there.
No, the Hawks don't make it. I think
Wow.
I think they're terrible.
They are.
So who's in it then? Because
Well, so I think it's Orlando, Cleveland at the 7-8.
Wow. Okay.
I think Cleveland does win because I think once they get their healthy players back, they don't have as much experience, but they have a better player. I think Donovan Mitchell.
They don't have less experience though than the Magic.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell has
he
been.
had a lot of
Well,
experience. in
exactly what I'm
playoffs.
saying. The Cavs
Not
have
super
more
deep,
experience.
Did
but-
I say the Magic have one?
Well, it sounded like you said the Cavs don't
You
have
said
that
they
much.
Cavs don't have that much.
I meant whatever.
They
But
don't, but they have more.
Donovan Mitchell. I'm what
Trumps
I'm trying to
the
say is
Magic.
Donovan Mitchell trumps the Magic. Yeah. And so I do think the Magic beats my 9th seed, which is the Toronto Raptors. They've been playing very well since the OG trade.
I could see it.
RJ Barrett's taking the leap. I don't want to call it too early, but it's looking.
God, he's taking the lead.
Obviously, Scotty's looking like an all-star.
Quickly's been really good still too.
Yeah.
and
I think the Raptors beat the Nets and lose to getting to the 8th
to
seed
that
game,
game.
and then they lose to the Magic. So yeah, let's begin our series.
Round 1. Let's actually get to it. We talked a lot of
Eight.
stuff. Round 1. So Celtics versus Cavs for me. Celtics, I actually had number 2 seed in my preseason. Obviously to the Bucks. I now believe they will easily be the 1 seed by the end of the season. I don't think it will be close. I don't think the Bucks will get there. And I think they'll also easily take care of the Cavs. I do think the Cavs will take 1 game. It's a very talented roster. They could take more. They've had a lot of issues. But I don't trust the Celtics still. I just don't trust I don't trust. Huge Jaylen Brown fan. You all know also I'm very controversial about Jason Tatum. But at the end of the day, I don't trust either one of them. I don't trust either one of them to be consistent, to make the right decisions against a great defense, which the Cavs do have consistently. And I easily think the Cavs could start taking a few surprising games. I've been taking 1. Drew Holiday has been added. Kristaps Porzingis is added. We'll have to see how healthy that team is also.
as the Cavs right now, right? You're looking at Mobley out for another 6 weeks or so, and Jarrett Allen is playing out of his mind, playing like the Jarrett Allen we know.
You want to talk about
What
that right now?
what are you thinking? Like, do you think they look at potentially trading one of those bigs in Mobley or Allen? It's probably
No.
Allen just because Mobley's younger.
It's got to be Allen.
But do you think they look at doing that before the preseason, or do you think they look at that in the offseason next season?
preseason or the postseason?
Or postseason?
Yeah, I think it's more of an off-season move, just because you want to give it one last chance
Mhm.
to see how Mobley and him work.
And
If
maybe they
because-
work out now.
Because when they're off the court, or like when one's on the court and one's off, I think it works really well. But both of them, it's a little skeptical.
Exactly.
But I say you give it one more run, and Allen is playing like an all-star game.
Oh yeah.
Or like how he did in the all-star season.
Question
Good
about
to
these.
see.
You're a big Cavs fan. Do you you have the same thoughts that Deacon has on this? Give it one more run.
Well, I don't think trade Jared Allen in any scenario. I think just move him to the bench, or move Mobley to the bench, try something new. Because
I like
Allen
the
is
big.
proving right now he can do it on his own as the big.
Yeah.
But if you trade Allen, who's the backup big? You don't have anyone. And he's a veteran who can still show Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley can learn from him, because I'm gonna be honest, his post moves aren't the greatest. He's still learning right now, and I think don't trade Allen or Mobley. Just let them develop, let them learn.
I do like that take actually,
I-
potentially, and I think you could even try that when Mobley comes back. Because I mean, we've seen too when Allen was out at the beginning of the season, Mobley had a great run too. So they've both shown that they have that potential, and they're really good bigs.
Yeah.
They just don't work out together on the court. Which the only problem with benching him is it's not like you're gonna get rid of them playing together. So I'm curious how that would still
Well, I
end
think
up.
it would reduce.
It would for sure, but I'm still curious how that would look. But I do think that is actually a good test scenario the Cavs should try out.
For sure. I mean, the question is, do you like let them close games together? I mean, I think having both on the roster. I mean, obviously
It's
they're
just
both
difficult.
awesome players, but it can be difficult at times. But I think I like the idea of bringing one off the bench.
Yeah, at least trying it.
Or once Mobley comes back, maybe you ease him off the bench. As like an
Yeah.
experiment type thing.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Could do that.
But I'll move on to my 1-8 match.
Also, I lied, by the way, guys. I have the Magic beating the Cavs. My Magic are my 7 seed, and the Cavs are my 8. I completely misread my notes.
Okay.
Unclear
So-
notes. I apologize.
Oh, that's why you had Celtics. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
didn't
liar.
look at,
Go
but
ahead.
I got Charlotte versus the Magic in the first note.
Oh wait,
Hey.
Wait, no. So you have.
I was like,
Oh,
where did the Hornets come from?
Go ahead.
You said you have the Celtics playing the
Cavs.
Cavs. I'm about to say the Browns. You have them playing first. You have Cleveland beating.
No,
Orlando.
Celtics.
Yeah,
Boston
Yeah,
beating
no. I have
No, in the
Orlando-
play in the
I
play.
have Orlando beating the Cavs. I misspoke earlier. I misread.
So
that.
okay, so you have Orlando playing Boston.
No, because
No.
Cleveland's
No.
the 8 seed, Boston's the 1 seed. He said that part right. He just misspoke beforehand.
I just misspoke beforehand, but it's gonna everything
Okay,
else.
I'll
was-
pretend like I understand.
So I meant to say, I meant to say, the Celtics versus the Magic.
The Hornets would be interesting too.
I was excited, man. I was
Me too.
Trade
excited.
LaMelo Ball to the San Antonio Spurs, right?
Or
now.
Terry Rozier, dude.
Ooh, Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but Terry Rozier is going to help someone win the championship.
Oh yeah.
Amen to that.
But
Oh yeah.
assuming he gets traded, of course. But yeah, I got
Or
the
with the Hornets maybe.
Hell no. Trade
One day.
LaMelo to the Spurs and let LaMelo succeed in an actual good franchise.
Yeah, the Spurs are very successful right now.
yeah.
They're a
We're beating the
successful franchise,
Pistons
guys.
as we speak.
That's good.
Anyway,
Continue.
I would hope so. If we didn't, I'd
Yeah.
probably shoot myself in the foot.
Especially without Cade playing.
well,
So
so
if we lost to the Pistons without Cade playing,
I mean,
let me tell you.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got Celtics, Mavericks, Magic,
Gosh.
and I got the Celtics. I think I'll say 4 games. I think the Magic are good. I think they're
Really?
talented. I think Paul is great. He's a future superstar. I think he's like the next future superstar type guy. You know, that will like break out next year, like break out. I mean, he's already having like an All-Star caliber year, but
I'm
I think he'll be
curious.
even better. But I think I just think that Celtics are too good.
If
And
Franz is more consistent,
yeah, Franz got to
shooting-wise,
start making some baskets.
they can win, but with his shooting right now, it could be a sweep.
Yeah.
Marvin, Do you agree with that? Because I know we've had some bets on the Magic and the Celtics game last season. The Magic won 3 of the 4 matchups, 2 of them on the road, and only lost the first one when they were completely like injured. And they've kind of owned the Celtics a little bit. The Celtics have choked previously.
So
Do you agree with me, Marvin? I think the Magic are going to take a game or two.
I think they can take a game or two. In the last 2 seasons, they've played 7 times. The Magic have won 4 out of those 7 games. This season the Celtics did win both of those, but I do think just overall with how the Magic are doing right now,
Lengthy guys.
and I'm pretty sure both of those games that they've played against the Celtics this season, they probably had 3 or 4 guys out that are starters, or at least 2 starters, in
Fultz?
Wendell and Fultz.
Wendell.
Even Jonathan Isaac probably missed that game, and I think they take at least 1 game.
Okay, but
especially at
Marco
home.
Fultz and Jonathan Isaac, they're always injured.
Yeah.
They're always injured. What makes
Even
it?
then.
I mean, it's kind of like the Clippers conversations the last couple of years. I mean, like we just kept projecting them, like, oh yeah, once they're healthy, they're gonna go.
I just think add to that the fact of how inconsistent the Celtics are, how much I don't trust them. The Hawks last year, the Hawks took 2 games. Everyone
That's
they
true.
had in the Atlanta, they had a concert booked for the game, because that's how confident they were. But the Celtics choked it away. Even
So,
Atlanta thought that.
That's what gives me confidence this year. We saw last year they
Oh.
played with their food. You know, they
And
had
this
the
every
the
year.
Hawks done to rights, and then I think like it was like Trey Young outscored the Celtics in the 4th quarter or something, and then he hit the game winner. Shout out Trey Young.
I think Orlando takes 1 game though. I think they win at least one of the
I mean,
home
yeah, one
games.
game.
I mean, we're picking at something that's not that
Yeah.
important. I want to get this later again because obviously we're gonna have more important Celtics matchups. The Celtics will take the first round,
Yeah.
almost guaranteed, unless we have the Bucks from last season.
Wow.
But
Yeah, you never know.
we'll get some more Celtics action here in a little bit, I'm sure. Are we?
2-7.
Did you said you're 1-8? Yeah. All right, 2-7. I got Milwaukee Bucks, my number 2. Against the Orlando Magic, and yeah, we kind of had a Magic conversation. I believe they have a lot of talent. The Bucks look pretty inconsistent and lost at times. They have a new coach, and part give him some leeway. First season as a head coach, and also just first season having this coach, right? But I'm not confident in him. I'm not confident in the system, in the buy-in, in the chemistry. The talent's all there, so they should take the series. But I'm just gonna say 6 games. And
Who are they playing again? The Magic?
the Magic. The Magic.
I mean, the Bucks are tricky. I mean, like you never like to see these veteran-heavy teams hire rookie head coaches. I mean, we kind of saw it last year
It's
with
valid.
Missoula. Like he had his downfalls, if that's the right word. We saw it with Ham, obviously. And I'm not saying that Adrian Griffin is doomed, but I mean, it looks rough so far. The defense has been pretty bad. Dame is as inconsistent as we've ever seen him.
Still playing good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, he's still
still-
playing like an all-star, but it's not the Dame.
It doesn't look pretty.
Yeah.
It doesn't look pretty.
It's not like prime.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard shooting from the half court.
And
Yeah.
again, just so we can move on, I'll give you guys an opportunity to talk about the Bucks, but let's move on to your 2-7.
Well, I got the same. Well, not the same 2-7, but I have Milwaukee, Cleveland. And I think I think Cleveland could give them trouble because they have the 2 good bigs, and
They do.
obviously,
2 good
Giannis.
guards as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously Giannis is the focal point of that offense. So I think I'll give Bucks the win in 6 games. Obviously they've been, as I just said, inconsistent, but I think Giannis. There's no way they're gonna lose in the first round 2 years. in
You
a row.
don't think
Well,
so?
that's a question about the as a you're a Cavs man. Do you think the Cavs have a chance here?
I think easily. Or
Honestly.
Chris Middleton, I think he's gonna be a big factor in that series. But I
Yeah,
also
he's been
think
picking it
Isaac
up.
Okoro will be a big factor to get some minutes.
Oh,
He's
I
a
like
great
him.
defensive player for the Cavs. I think one of the best up there with Evan Mobley. I think if we put him on Dame, we'll be fine. I think we can stick with them. We can play ball with them easily.
D Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, scoring wise,
Defense on Lillard.
I would rather have Okoro.
No. Rotation.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell's
But-
been better defensively this year, but you don't want him on Dame.
We just need to be able to show in the playoffs that we can play basketball.
Well, yeah, just
That's
Last-
true.
Last
That's
season,
true.
it
They
did
have
not
things
look
to
like
prove, and I think they will prove something.
it
this
did not
year.
look like the Knicks or the
Hopefully.
Cavs knew how to play basketball. It was just
Yeah, that's true.
it
That's
was a
just a
terrible
whack series.
You think they're
I
gonna prove
think they
against the Bucks?
both
Well,
average like
I
under
think-
100 points per game that series.
I don't know anymore. But I think they're gonna fight a little harder and try to prove something against the Bucks, and I think that'll bring them at least closer. Into
And
those
another
games.
factor into this whole situation is this Donovan Mitchell's last year's Cavaliers.
That depends on how far they go.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
big
he'll be extra motivated. Yeah. So we'll see. Sorry about that. So I'll no, that was my 2-7.
Alright.
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine.
I'll go 3 Heat. I think I have them finishing obviously above the Sixers.
You have the Heat finishing that high.
The Heat right now, they have one of the easiest schedules left. They've been
Mhm.
playing, we just talked about this. Jimmy Butler's been playing at one of the worst that we've seen since he's become a star since his Bulls days. And he hasn't played in the game, those few games he has played, and they're still right now where they're the fifth seed right now.
yeah.
They're
Yes.
playing already great. Bam Adebayo's taking another level up. Tyler Hero another level, and he's not
All-star
even healthy
starter.
right now. And so get him healthy. I think the Heat, we have with emo Jimmy Butler from the pictures. The Heat guys, the Heat are on a mission. Don't get it twisted. And we're not talking
Twisted?
about twisted. we're not talking about the Heat. Media isn't talking about the Heat right now, but they're on a mission, guys. How many Eastern Conference Finals? 3 in the last 4 years, guys. Why would it be any different? Well, guys, they're literally like, I think they're gonna finish well here. Their team is gonna be healthier, and I also like we're gonna get here with their.
And if you think about it too, Miami made it to the Eastern Conference Finals with no hero since what, game 1?
Yeah, and this is just don't worry, guys. The Heat will get further than just the first round, and this is my justification for regular season. Or do y'all think they're gonna have another bad regular season and kind of just fight it as a
Well,
7th
I think
seed?
they'll. I have them as my 5th seed. So
Okay, that's
That's
fair.
fair. Stay around there.
That's fair.
yeah. I mean, not to spoil it, but I do have them winning their series. I think they could make another deep run. Like I said before the season, I'm done doubting Jimmy Spud.
Amen.
I mean, I will still probably pick someone else above him, but
Just because that's how it's done.
yeah.
That's how the Heat like it though. That's how they want it.
Sometimes I do doubt. So
Well, yeah.
finals. Why did Hero not play?
I'm
That
still
was the
surprised
early
we
chance.
haven't gotten an answer on that.
Speaking of their head coach, he just signed an extension.
Oh yeah.
Big
Which
time.
is
120
years.
million dollars. And
Crazy.
they waited until he finalized his divorce.
Yeah.
for
So
him
that
to sign
the
it,
wife
so that the
didn't
wife wouldn't get
half of
anything.
it.
I love it. Pat Riley,
He
baby.
didn't even know they're getting divorced. I mean,
Yeah,
good for
that's
him, bad
sad,
for him.
actually.
Sad for him, but good for him if he has to move on. Whatever's best for him. I don't know.
No, I think the Heat, like, they didn't have the best regular season last year.
More motivation, guys. He's
But-
trying to show his wife that he's him.
Unless he
But
doesn't care.
They obviously made it to the finals. They didn't win.
Yeah.
But I think that they had like the pieces there to make a deep run into the playoffs. And when it comes time to play, like Jimmy Butler comes to play.
Amen.
Okay. So
And let's not forget, he also got injured last year in the playoffs.
That's true.
And he's playing on a sprained ankle. If that doesn't happen, I mean, I don't think they beat
If
the
that doesn't happen and Hero stays healthy, think about what they can do.
I mean,
I think they have a chance in the finals.
Well, I mean, let's move on. It's just my regular season justification. I will give more chance easily to talk about them. I think they'll beat the Pacers. Pacers are my number 6 seed. I had them at number 7 in preseason. I am high on them. Defense sucks. I still think, honestly, I'm disappointed with what I've seen. They should really kind of just get like a defensive sort of role player that can knock down
Thibault,
a
I
three.
really think would be a great piece.
I'm a T Thibault kind of a guy. He can shoot a 3 ball. Doesn't have to. He can just kind of move around the offense, make sure he's not a liability, and be a defender. I would hope they get about 2 of those guys, and then they can be a really legit team. I am hoping and assuming they'll get one. I've been disappointed with the effort so far.
well, I think
Fingers
we heard
crossed.
that.
Pascal's been in talks.
Oh yeah,
as well.
and Buddy Hield is on the trade block.
Yeah, he was like right before the
He
season,
requested
but
a
then,
trade actually. Yeah,
but then it kind of went away, which I wasn't necessarily against. I mean, he's a great scorer, but
I mean, the Raptors need shooters.
the Raptors kind of need
Hey
it.
guys, Halliburton likes doing the splits every once in a while.
I mean, dude,
which is
I hope the
for
2
them.
weeks that he's given right now is all he's gonna need,
I mean-
but I'm scared it's not.
I mean, I don't think they'll like fall incredibly behind, but
I mean, they ended up
the
winning
East
that
is
game
really.
against the Celtics.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there was a
it
controversial call.
was a contra, but either way, they were still close.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Pacers, even without Halliburton, they're still a high flying offense. They're just not as effective. So it worries me how long he'll be out, how much that'll affect. And
Well, that's what happened
because the
last
East
year.
right now is so tight. If they fall behind, it's gonna
That's
be-
exactly what happened last year. He got hurt toward the end of the season for 3-4 weeks, and they fell out, and then they gave up the last.
I
2
might have
weeks.
a hot take here. I think Tyrese Halliburton needs to focus on scoring more, doing his own thing. I think he's worried a little too much about passing.
But he's not
instead.
worried about it. He's making
Oh,
the
he-
best play.
He's
Have you seen
making
him
the
play?
best. His focus
Yes.
is to make the team the best, and that's why they're the number one in almost every
And-
statistical offensive category.
Maybe he should start
And-
playing defense.
I
That's
think
true.
That's
That's true.
valid. I mean, he's not horrible, but he should definitely.
I don't know what
He's been
where
pretty bad.
Carlisle is telling him defensively, but I want to see Halliburton score more.
Well, he
I
stepped
want
out
him to
one-
do his own thing and score a little
Well,
more.
the beauty about him is he knows when he needs to take over and he can.
I can't disagree with you more. The best players have always been the ones that do what's right for the team, and he knows when to score. He's one of the most efficient scorers right now in the NBA. And right, LeBron James, he makes players better. Ben Simmons, obviously a horrible shooter, but that his goal is always to make players better. I
I
kind
don't
of
think Ben Simmons is the greatest example, but
well, he makes players better. What he says,
I know, but he is
can
the
just-
It might
guy
hurt
that
his back
needs.
a little bit.
No, he's
but
the guy that needs to score more.
he needs to learn how to score more.
He does. He
And
definitely.
so Tyrese
scored more,
Halliburton
but-
is
Jokic-
also an example because he's gonna
Makes
try to
sense,
get.
sure.
He's gonna try to get exactly.
He
They're gonna
doesn't
try to
look
get the
score, but he knows.
most efficient shot. Okay, you can be an amazing 3-point shooter, right? Steph Curry is a great half-court shooter. We don't want him to pull from halftime because from half court all the time because it's not going to be efficient. If he's making that 25% clip, that's great. That's better than anybody else in the league, but it wouldn't be efficient. Tyrese Halliburton is doing what's most efficient for his offense. He's doing that while he's shooting a 40% 3-point clip, a 50%. Yeah, he's not getting guy numbers, right? We've had the Trae Young talk. Trae Young scores more points per game. He does so more inefficiently.
And
it's
it
about
doesn't make his team better.
it's about what's best for the team. It's about making the right choice. So I have to completely disagree with you. there.
You can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I can. It's very true.
I disagree completely.
About what is your 3 versus 6 matchup?
That's interesting. Oh, I have potentially the most interesting first round series. Sorry.
We
Oh,
almost
right
lost
now.
him.
I got Philly versus Indianapolis. Indiana. Yeah. I mean, I gotta go with Philly. I mean, they're a great offense, great defense.
They're also great choke artists in the playoffs.
I think I gotta.
I mean, I agree. I think
New
this
coach
year's
Nick
different.
Nurse is a proven winner. Tyrese Maxey's going to take a lot of pressure off Embiid. Embiid is scoring more efficiently than ever. I don't know. I got to and they're deeper than ever too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they're deep.
Like they're not as star reliant. You know, I really like what the Sixers are doing. In my opinion, I mean they are my 3 seed, but they're not I think they're the second best team in the East. I don't know. I think
Especially healthy, because I mean we've seen
Yeah.
Maxey struggles with Embiid out, unfortunately. But when they're both playing,
I
it's
think the
beautiful.
biggest factor is Embiid's health, and we've seen
Mhm.
him consistently get injured in the playoffs. And if that could change, I mean, he's already missed quite a bit of time this year.
And
may
he's
not-
got
He may not win MVP.
8 or 7
This-
games left till he
This
can't win
is
award.
one reason why I have the Heat strolling in
Yeah,
front of the Sixers,
because-
actually.
I mean, the Sixers are kind of on a skid right now.
Mhm.
I like 2 straight or 3 straight. I don't know.
And partially because of Embiid.
Well, yeah, he's been injured. But yeah, I think if the Sixers can get it together in terms of health, I think they got as good of a chance as anyone to knock off Boston.
Oh yeah.
So I'll take the Sixers in 6 just because Tyrese Halliburton's that good.
He is.
That good.
He is that good. Yeah, I got so Sixers as my 4 seed in round 1 versus the 5 seed Knicks. I had the Knicks also in 5 in the preseason. I had Sixers in 6 in my preseason prediction in large part because the James Harden drama. We didn't know what that was going to bring. They got a good return for him. I think a really
Oh,
deep
yeah.
team defensive. They got some guys that hit that 3. And one of the things, right? I've been a Joel Embiid critic. I don't remain a critic. I'm not a Joel Embiid lover. I think he's improved greatly. One of the things I've loved to see, one of the things I've criticized, I said if he wants to be the number 1 guy on a truly successful team, he's got to learn how to make smarter plays. Again, when we're talking about Halliburton, do what's best for the team. Kick it out if you need to. I know he can score almost over anybody, and he's really shown that in large part because he's got an amazing chemistry off the court and on the court with Tyrese Maxey, and it's just awesome to see. It's fun to watch. They're both playing the best basketball of their career. It's great for the team, and I just for that, obviously, I have them still finishing as a 4 seed, not as 6, and I think they'll definitely have, to what we're talking about with Deacon, some success. I think they will take down the Knicks in no more than 6 games. No more than 6 games. Could be less. The Knicks, I want to give them their flowers. OG Anunoby trade right now. They're undefeated with him so far. It's only 5 games, something like that.
Pretty big
something.
It's awesome. Like, he fits well. I just don't think they're going to be able to really compete with the Sixers.
The one thing about the Knicks is, I think OG fits in absolutely perfectly. I think I think Mitchell Robinson coming back would really help. And I think there's optimism that he comes back at the end of the regular season now. But I think also just, that bench playmaking or that bench ball handling they're missing. I think now they're kind of playing Julius Randle more with the second unit to combat that. But I still think they need another guard. We'll see if they can.
To be fair though, Grimes and McBride have been really good off the bench since OG trade as well.
How much do you trust that young duo in the playoffs?
That's true.
It's true.
I don't. So
yeah, that's fair.
Like Tyus Jones would be perfect, although it doesn't really make sense financially. But I don't know.
Who's your 4 and 5?
Heat or the Knicks are my 4. Heat are my 5.
Okay.
I got the Heat and 7
rematch.
I think.
Heat and 7.
I think the Knicks are really good. And
sounds like you're doubting the Heat a little bit.
I sounds like you're doubting the Knicks. The Knicks are the sleepiest team in the East. They're gonna wake up and scare the shit out of
This is not a Heat.
3 Eastern Conference Finals against Celtics. Bucks have been in there. 3 in the last 4 years. 2 Finals appearances just last year. They were injured. They were losing.
Choked in the playoffs.
They were losing their second or third best player last year. They have arguably the best coach.
They're still figuring things out. They're getting more players, and they're only going to get better.
It's not the same year like Donaldson said. They're only getting better. They got new players. This team is built for the playoffs. That's
what they thought about the last 5 years.
They only lost the Heat in 6 last year, and they were all close games. They added Anunoby. They added more shooting. They're a great defensive team.
Number 2 guy to get their own shot. Who's the number 2 guy? It comes down. You need to get buckets. Okay, but he's so inconsistent. That's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem.
Well, he's not there anymore.
He's not there anymore. That's exactly my point. And no, quickly, he was a guy that could create his own bucket.
That is my question, and that's why I think he's winning.
7 games, dude.
I think.
Carmelo
Jeez, man.
Yeah, go sign Carmelo.
Yeah, I am not Marvin hates the Knicks with a passion. I like the Knicks. I love the vibes. I love the team.
Say with the passion, but
they're like your least favorite team in the league.
That's the Hawks.
Okay, they're your second least favorite team in the league.
Do you hate the Hawks?
They were.
They were. You hate the players on them?
I hate Trae Young.
I hate Trae Young for the most part, and then the rest is kind of starting to grow on me, but I hate Trae Young.
Jalen Johnson is awesome.
No, Marvin likes the Knicks more than he used to. I love the Knicks, but to me that's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Compared to the Heat, unless the Heat are dealing with some big injuries, the Heat are.
But even then,
guys, Bam Adebayo, Mitchell Robinson, guys, Bam Adebayo have been playing great. What are they gonna do about Bam Adebayo? What are they gonna do about Bam Adebayo? Then you got Jimmy Butler, Himmy Buckets.
Tyler Hero.
So OG's guarding Himmy Buckets, and he's gonna lock him down just like the Bucks did.
So
yeah,
okay,
makes sense.
Me.
And then you got Hero.
DiVincenzo, Josh.
Oh, that's true. DiVincenzo's their backup guard. He's good.
That's true.
I know, but he's not much.
He's more of a scorer.
That's true.
I like the Knicks guy, but I just don't think
And we've seen a different breed of Jalen Brunson.
Anything can happen,
especially in the
playoffs.
Also
still
I just think all I'm saying is the Knicks are gonna shock
and the Heat
everybody.
As the Heat individual defense and team defense is unmatched to any defense, especially the team type of a defense they play, the X's and O's defense they play.
How do you know Jimmy's gonna perform to the same stats as he did last year?
All right. You know what? Sleep on him. 3. I'm gonna do Klay Thompson, guys. 3 Eastern Conference Finals.
We're talking about year after year after year, blah blah blah. What happens? Then we need to talk about the Clippers. Then I know I was sitting over there watching you guys say
the Clippers have actually had a good team.
The Clippers are going to win the finals. This is what's going to happen.
The Clippers had health concerns.
Right now, what's going to happen? Okay, 1, 2, or 3 if they're options. Harden, Chris Paul, not Chris Paul. Chris Paul mentioned like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, Harden, Kawhi, or PG. One of them is going to get injured.
Okay, one of them. They have James Harden.
It's going to derail.
No, it's not.
You're gonna watch basketball. They almost beat the Suns. No losing. They didn't have what 2 of the stars for the majority of
They
that.
lost by like
The
20
Suns.
that
Okay,
game.
the Suns are. That's a whole.
They were
that's a
playing.
dumpster
That's
fire.
what I'm
Okay?
saying. They were competitive. They played competitive basketball, and
But
they
they
were
looked
more
good
healthy, and they added
last
almost a star. This was different, and you don't know if they'll be healthy. That's the difference between the Knicks and the Heat right now. We know the Heat have been good. We're not talking about the last season they've been injured. There's nothing to do with the Clippers. We know the Clippers are good too. They've been hurt. He have not been hurt. He have performed.
But
He have been there.
It's because they're injury prone.
Yeah,
I mean-
but I just think the comparison is irrelevant if we're talking about the Miami Heat. Miami Heat have been absolutely
Oh, I agree.
good, and
I
every
agree.
single person on that roster.
You're acting like I don't have the Heat winning the series.
Okay, I know. We're taking too much time. I just think it's just that close. It could happen. Like guys, like the Heat, every single person on the Heat, the
wants
Heat,
to
they
be
have
sweet.
Jaime Hawkins. They're deeper than they've ever been before.
I do.
Everyone
I
on that
love Jaime
roster,
Hawkins.
everyone on that roster is better than they've ever been before. Like what? And they've been to they've made
So
2
you're saying
finals.
no one on the Knicks has been better?
Yeah.
Have you seen Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson all-star starter.
What does that have to do with anything? My point
And
is
he's on the Knicks?
okay.
The
Yes.
Knicks have gotten better.
Yeah.
from last
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
And I think they match up pretty well with the Heat.
All right.
I agree with that. I think
It's just-
Simmons-
guys, let's sleep
I
on
think
the
the
Heat
Knicks are
every
deep.
year. Let's sleep on the Heat every year.
Well,
I
you
love it.
gotta keep the trend alive.
You gotta keep the trend
No, I
alive.
mean, he's still believing in the Heat.
I
He's
picked them to
picking
win the series.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We'll get more Heat talk later.
All right.
We'll get more Heat talk later.
True.
Round 2, baby. Celtics and Sixers. I just hyped up the Sixers. I kind of pooped on the Celtics. This could easily be a 7-game series. I have the Celtics
Again.
in 5.
Wow.
I agree with that
I
so much.
don't
I
know
agree with that
if
so
the
much.
Sixers have again lacked. I love Tyrese Maxey is
I can't.
top 5 favorite player in the league, one of my most hyped prospects this season. Right now, he hasn't gotten enough reps without Embiid. And Embiid has not shown that he's been great. Al Horford has been kryptonite for Joel Embiid in the playoffs. They have Kristaps Porzingis now. They have all this talented defense. It's going to make it very difficult on them. They've been choked. The Sixers are been just as much of choke artists as the Celtics, but they just don't have as much talent. And so again, this could become a 7-game series, but the Celtics should. Even slightly banged up, take this one. And if the Sixers are slightly banged up, they've got some big problems.
Both teams are really deep, but I feel like the Celtics are just like
They know how to use their depth better.
deepest, yeah.
They know how to use it. Like this, the Sixers are deep, but they have not
I mean, the Celtics
used
have
it all
like,
that greatly.
you could argue they have like 5 all-star caliber players.
I feel like the
Oh,
Celtics,
100%,
the Celtics
I
are the
agree.
deepest team in the league. In
Well,
my opinion.
everyone
No.
talked about how they're not deep at all, but Sam Hauser's been one of the best 3-point shooters. Derek White has been doing Derek White
Peyton
things.
Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard, he's kind of everyone's like favorite guy that doesn't do
Luke
much.
Cornett has
Luke
been
Cornett
good.
and Nemias Queta have been pretty
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, I think anyone disagree with the Sixers
I don't think
Celtics
it's a
matchup?
5. but-
Yeah.
No,
why not?
I agree. I
I
agree.
think it's a
Five.
7-game
So much,
series. I
so
think
much.
it's a 7-game
I can see
series.
it slide, but like the only reason why I would slide to 7 is really if the Celtics are choking.
I
And
think-
which they do, which I wouldn't be
Exactly.
surprised, which they do. But the Sixers choke too, and it's just a 2-man game. They look better. I
think
love the
Joel
chemistry.
is taking a big step. Again, hate over. Well, I don't know what I was going to say. Oh,
8 over?
hate every year on Joel.
And he
for playoff
also
runs,
chokes
and
every
he's
year.
gonna prove y'all wrong.
And
Just
now they have
watch.
Kristaps.
New
on-
coach.
Just watch.
The new coach. I love it.
Yeah,
And new
you're gonna have
chemistry,
a
guys.
great
Or
coach.
Simmons now.
He's gone to a championship. You know who hasn't? The Celtics head coach.
And Joe Mazzulla. Now I have
Well,
my
he's got
concerns.
assistants.
I'll get to Joe Mazzulla in a second here. In a second. Also, to your point, I want to Joel Embiid's horn as well. Oh, actually, I want to untoot it and then toot it. For one, he's like I said, he's been a guy that hasn't been exactly a team leader. I'm not saying he's been a liability, not been a team leader. Ben Simmons said like they're friends, but again, when Ben Simmons did all that drama, Joel was not a guy that ever really reached out. Him and Doc Rivers kind of threw Ben Simmons under the bus. But right now, that's what you have going for them. Tyrese Maxey and him, they're brothers. They say them like they're brothers on and off the court. They're tight on
Brotherly
the court,
love,
tight off the
baby.
court. City of brotherly love. So let me toot his horn that way. That he has it going from this season. So
And Pat Bev.
I don't want to put that away. So it
That's
could be a
a
7-game series. I think it's really it depends on the Celtics. It depends on do they want to play with their food? Are they going to choke? Are they going to get things down? Are the
In that
Sixers in this
sense,
next
though-
half of the season? Are they going to use those bench guys that are great defenders to develop them further? Because they're going to need them in a series like that against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And they're going to need guys that can really consistently do the job. and I don't know if I've loved the way that everyone's been used besides Maxey and Embiid on that
Well, I
roster.
think, I mean, I have the
B-ball Paul, bro.
I'll just say my
Yeah, go
my
ahead. Yeah,
five
let's
real
do it.
quick, which is Boston versus Miami, and I mean I think Boston is, I mean I don't think they're an invincible team because their game plan is chunk up a ton of threes and make them, and they're very good at that. But sometimes you're just not going to be good at it. Some
True.
days. And that's how they lose to, no, that's how they almost lost to Detroit. That's how that's just how that's how you beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
And defense is going to ramp up even more in the playoffs. I think, and we've seen them have games where they just can't make a shot. So I think a lot of teams can,
Take advantage.
and make the playoff run deeper than it should be, like the Hawks did last year. So I think I got Miami going 6 games.
Okay.
I got the Celtics winning because they're still the Celtics, but yeah, I mean, but I think Miami also we've seen take advantage of the Celtics better than anyone. I mean, Spoelstra, I mean, besides that little 3-game stretch where they almost blew it, largely
scary.
outcoached Missoula. I mean, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum kind of disappeared at various points in that series, and they've done that every year.
Derek White came up clutch, so they still got him.
These are all some
That's so
excellent
good.
points that I would like to double hit on here in a moment beforehand. Let's hit. I got the Heat and the Bucks, and this is where we're gonna hit on Heat and Celtics again.
Boy.
The Heat are taking on the Bucks again. This time in 7 games. And we talked about the Bucks' concerns, coaching, consistency, the fit. We know what the Heat are capable of defensively. I think they can match up greatly. Like I said, everyone's better on that team. They're deeper. They were great last season. We know what they did to them last season. And I think this season, the Bucks roster, as much as they're superstar studded and as much as they can take any game, and this is why they're going to take 3, and they could easily take that 7th one too, they've also been inconsistent, and they've not been as deep, and they are kind of missing a little bit of that Drew Holiday 2-sided defense and leadership. Chris Middleton's still coming off an injury. I have the Heat taking this one, guys. The Heat are.
And if you did watch last series, Drew Holiday was terrible in the playoffs. Chris Middleton was not very good. Giannis got hurt a little bit.
All right.
Giannis going to be healthy.
Tyler
He's
Hero
gonna come
didn't
out
play the whole
swinging.
series.
Damian Lillard is way better than Drew Holiday.
Offensively, as a scorer and as a defender,
The problem is with the defense.
as a consistent scorer,
Well, yeah.
He's guarding Kyle
and
Lowry.
against an X's and O's, like a very intelligent Miami team defense.
He's guarding Kyle Lowry. Big deal.
Yeah, I think.
All right, sleep on the Heat defense.
Well, I don't think we're sleeping on the Heat.
I love this Heat talk because Jaime.
I know they
Jaime
Sexy,
Hero,
sexy,
man.
sir. He's so sexy, dude.
Dante Highsmith taking another lead.
He's about to win the dunk contest too.
Or Hayward
Don't forget
Highsmith.
about that.
Unfortunately, that's going to be Jalen Williams, even though he hasn't even said he's going to do it. But I like you said. I mean, the Bucks defense is what is giving me pause. I know Dame is struggling from the field. I know. Chris Middleton sometimes isn't. I mean, he's also struggling from the field, just to be blunt. But I think the defense is really what gives me pause because at the end of the day, the Bucks, if they need to score with anyone, they could score with anyone. So like a guy so Memphis, hear me out. They're going to want to bottom out. Marcus Smart kind of has a weird fit on that roster. In terms of Bane's not really a 3. He's kind of too small. Send Marcus Smart to the Milwaukee, get some picks.
That is a genius idea for the Bucks.
I think
I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening.
Especially there's Jaws out for the season.
Yeah.
They're
But-
not going to give him up.
But I think Dane next to Smart, and then I think that could. I don't think it would fix it all, but I think that would be a tremendous help. And Smart's still a great 3-point shooter.
That could change my. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's why I'm not gonna. But that could change. I think that if they got Smart, that would change a lot of things.
Or like a move for Caruso or something. I think that's like their missing piece here.
Yeah, I don't know how much assets they want to trade at this point. Also, they have Beauchamp. He's still a great defender. He's been disappointingly underused, and also I would say underperforming to an extent.
Well, I thought
But also,
young coaches a lot are like young coaches that are coaching for better teams. They're afraid to use those younger guys.
because they're not they're confident. Another reason why I take Spoelstra. I take the Heat in this. Another factor of why is the Bucks are a very old roster. Chris Middleton can easily go down with another injury. Giannis should be plenty young, but Dame is also they're just a very old roster. Brook Lopez, they could easily start having some problems with being banged up. Just even to an extent, just a lot of guys that that are older, that are going to have more toll on their body, and especially in a physical against the Heat playoff series. And the Bucks will be coming off of a Magic series as well, which are a lot of defenders and.
I mean, I'd be very nervous if I were a Bucks fan. I mean, not because I think they're still really good. Obviously, they're still the 2 seed.
They have a chance at going all the way.
Yeah, it's just they're so old.
Well, yeah,
They're the
that's true.
oldest roster in the NBA.
If you look future, you hope you win your next like 2 more chips in the next 3 years because after that you only have so much.
I mean, Giannis is the only thing.
And
Giannis isn't. I mean, he's still what, like 28, 29.
Yeah, he's
but-
historically too, as far as adding like Damian Lillard as superstar, most of the time that's not successful until the second season. A few outliers, one being Kawhi Leonard, which is also one of arguably the luckiest runs of all time, and Kawhi Leonard, like we said earlier, is insane.
Drew Holiday.
And then you have Drew Holiday. I think that's different. I think it's just adding a missing piece to a team that's already good. But it's just normally takes that. A lot of times takes that.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, well, Kevin Durant, exactly. That's the Warriors. That was the super team Warriors that were. There's a few outliers, but it's just there's a lot of question marks floating around, and I'll take the Heat in this game, in 7 games. So what's your last?
So I got Milwaukee, Philly, and like I said earlier, I think Philly's the second best team in the league in the East, not the league. So I got Philly in 7. Like I said before, the Bucks are still the Bucks. I think they could easily take it to 7. I think the Sixers are new. Nurse is better than Doc Rivers. I could say that for sure. I think Maxey and Embiid's connection is going to take them far. I think the depth is going to work. I'm a big believer in the Sixers. Whether that comes back to
haunt you.
Haunt me.
Yeah. Well,
but
what do you all think about the defensive
Like the
matchups? The defensive matchups on both ways.
well,
Joel particularly and Giannis.
so
those two.
obviously Joel would be on Lopez, but I guess Tobias. No, Tobias would probably be on Chris Middleton, and then you probably bring in Nick Batum to guard Giannis. I don't know. They don't have a lot of like big wings. They have a lot of like size. I mean, they have. They don't.
Giannis is a big man. That's
Yeah,
what you're getting at.
I mean, they don't have a lot of big, like super big mobile.
Giannis is a giant.
So
basically.
So what you're gonna do is like maybe you put Tobias. You can't. Like the Bucks are still really good shooting squad. I don't know.
Well, I
think
think
who's gonna guard Giannis?
Because I mean they've played before and they've kind of figured it out, and even then Joel's still going to score a lot, even when Giannis is playing. I mean they're both very high talented players, and they're going to figure out how to score no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily in the sense of, all right, who's going to guard Giannis and who's guarding Joel, which I think who's guarding Joel is easier than who's guarding Giannis. But I don't think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day either, because it is a team sport. And like I said, I mean, just because Joel's not going to be directly guarding Giannis doesn't mean Giannis is just going to bully his way through Batum every single time, because Joel can still be there for the help.
But to that point, are you not worried about if Giannis is guarding? Obviously, there's going to be team help. They're going to have to figure that out. But are you not worried about Giannis for one, his IQ to make the right plays, to hit the shooters, and then two, the shooters, which is why they got Damian Lillard. They don't have I don't see a lockdown defender on their two superstars. They have Damian Lillard and Giannis, right? I had the Heat matchup. They have some lockdown defense. I don't see a lockdown defender in either one of those superstars.
And Bobby Portis.
In a playoff. And Bobby Portis.
Hey, you got B-ball Paul who can guard Bobby.
He's been good this season.
I
think amazing.
I think, like obviously Dame is the second best player, but I think like Bobby Portis has been the second most consistent player on the Bucks. He's been good. And
he's like 38 points like a week
and he's trying on defense.
As he should. I mean, but I wouldn't say he's a lockdown defender, but I do think Melton could be that guy who has to take that step on Dame, and he does a great job at defense, and I think he is that primary guard defender for the Sixers. They have Pat Bev as well.
I forgot that Pat Bev. Okay.
That changes things. But I think they have enough defense and coaching intelligence to figure out how to run the Bucks, at least for their money. If you don't end up winning that series.
I mean, that's the scary part about this Bucks roster is, I think Malik Beasley was pretty bad for the Lakers, but he's shooting 47%.
That's true. He's been really good.
He's been really good.
I think at the end of the day, the series could come down to coaching, which would be the Sixers.
Consistency. Both these teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Bucks inconsistent this season. They have had some Drew Holiday inconsistencies, and obviously we've talked about Sixers inconsistency. So I think
It comes down to inconsistencies in coaching. I think that's bottom line.
Comes down to a lot of things.
both also
Yeah,
rookie coaches on these teams.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting-
I mean,
interestingly enough,
obviously,
Nick
Nurse
Nurse was
has been-
experienced.
Nurse is very experienced.
But that brings finals.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, Eastern Conference.
Heat versus Celtics again, guys. The Heat are going to the finals again, guys. 3 times in 5 years. 4 Eastern Conference Finals in 5 years.
In 5 years?
This is the
Oh, you're
finals.
saying for the
Guys,
finals.
just the fact they made the Eastern Conference Finals 4 and 5 years, guys. Why would they not make it the finals? They're playing against the Celtics, who choke. They match up greatly against
Yes,
the Celtics.
And
Kristaps
you said this
Porzingis-
earlier, they added Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis, I would not be surprised if Al Horford or Kristaps Porzingis, if not both of them, are going to be banged up by this time. By the time this comes around,
Still,
and that is a
still,
big time worry
still.
for me. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, again, no trust. Joe Mazzulla, to your point. So, I love Joe Mazzulla. I think he's a great guy. I think he would. I think he's a head coach. I think he would be an amazing assistant coach. But I don't trust him all the way as a finals.
He's like an offensive coordinator.
He's like and he has a lot of awesome philosophies too. But a lot of just kind of like 3-point shot. He's just missing a little bit something in my opinion. Obviously, Spoelstra is in most part not. I think the Heat they own the Celtics. They have been, and again they have that great lineup. If the Celtics are healthy, it's gonna look a lot different. If both squads are fully healthy, obviously the talent is there for the Celtics. But again, the Heat guys. That's what they do. They win despite looking like they.
I was about to say. I mean,
Everybody plays to their max and they play very amazing as a team. They play together as a team.
Well,
Everyone-
so Celtics almost won the series. They were unfortunate
because the Heat almost sold.
Jason Tatum hurt his ankle in the last game.
in the last game, and the Heat almost sold the one like before that. Like they just completely sold.
I know, but
Okay, but they added Kristaps and Drew Holiday. As you pointed out, Drew Holiday is a great defensive player.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
they-
Drew.
He had
Kristaps
it
is
up.
great.
You see,
Scorer
I think
and
the
defensive
Heat's
player.
Jaime Hawkins is better than both of them combined, so it doesn't matter.
But they
It
don't
doesn't
have,
matter.
but the Celtics have Luke Cornett. You know, just put him on the block, make him jump in the air,
Okay,
scare
that's
the
true.
shot.
I didn't think about that one.
I mean, silver lining. I'm gonna be honest. My favorites right now, right? If I had like a betting favorite, are
If the
the
Miami Heat,
are the Celtics. But just for the sake of my predictions, and I would not be shocked. Like the Heat guys.
Well, and here's the thing.
absolute.
You've seen
professional
the Heat the past few years, right? Nobody even thought of them making it past like the first or second round.
And they're better than ever before.
Just
They're
because-
deeper than ever before.
And just because he can't necessarily justify it
How
doesn't
many
mean it's not possible.
who they lose?
I think that finals.
They lost Vincent and Struz.
They lost
who
Vincent
choked their
Strus,
way-
who choked because they didn't have shooting. Now they have shooting. Until
Yes,
everyone
but
was gonna be
Strus
healthy.
also had that one game where he was 7 for 9 threes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're saying Lowry can't do that?
No,
No, I don't.
he
think-
can't.
You're saying Duncan Robinson can't do
Duncan
that?
Robinson's been amazing this year. Tyler
Duncan
Duncan Robinson,
Robinson?
to your point, and
Duncan Robinson he had that like down regular season, and then he was awesome in the playoffs, and he's awesome this year. And,
another
but,
thing.
I mean, obviously, and again with Duncan Robinson, he's not the defender Strus was. But to speak on like the deepest they've ever been, I think that bubble run with that Crowder.
I love the bubble
The
run,
bubble
but also their first one. Now they have that experience,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of depth. And I think a lot of also what comes down to guys. The fact is injuries are almost the
What's
number.
Jay Crowder? I always forget.
They don't use them because they're
Well,
stupid.
he's also injured.
He's injured right now,
That's
even before
true.
that. But
He's in the G League actually. Just like
Oh,
getting back.
yeah.
That was such a like.
Sixers have PJ Tucker,
No,
No.
the Clippers.
The Clippers have
Oh,
him because he doesn't play.
and he never plays.
he should get traded to the Pacers.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, the Clippers might use PJ Tucker if they run into the Timberwolves. I mean, because that small ball lineup always gets Rudy.
Scares him.
true.
He doesn't want to trample over people.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is injuries are probably arguably the number one factor of every playoff like in history.
Clippers,
And I think the Heat are in great. Yeah, despite me picking the Clippers to go to the finals, contrary to myself, I like their insurance policy. The Heat, on the other hand, have odds wise. I would say, despite obviously having Hero out there, they're in a really good shape to compete. Well, consistency is another one. They're great consistency wise. They're great turning up that level and playing as a team wise. And they're just they're not as likely as some of the other three contenders in the East
So
to deal with great injuries.
You got the two best coaches in the league matching up.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
finals.
Oh yeah.
who?
And Tyronn Lue and Eric Spoelstra.
And I think, oh my God, like let's look at the headline. So Clippers, I mean Heat, that would be the third time in the last 5 years they make a finals. They have not won it yet. and I was talking to Marvin. Also, another historically, almost there's a few outliers again, but most time you can almost see a championship team coming from a few seasons before. And the Heat are a perfect. Again, they're better than almost before. The Clippers, they've
sneaky. They
they've
stay
been
healthy,
there.
they're winning it, dude.
That's what I'm
Which
saying.
makes them not sneaky
Both
at all
these
because
teams
everyone knows that.
should be up in that
Well,
conversation.
Denver, I think, is still kind of favored.
I love the
Denver
headlines.
and Boston, but I mean Clippers are right
I feel
there.
like Denver's a little hated on right now. I think
Well, and
they were a little hated
They
on.
I
always
think
are.
they're too loved on, guys. This happens too often. After the Warriors won their year, so many people have them being the 1 seed by the end of the next season, like because they won. And rightfully so, but it's just I think the Nuggets are gonna be great. I think they're one of the teams to beat, but injury is one of the biggest problems. And it will probably haunt them.
yeah.
Jokic
Well,
is
that's why I
insane.
say even if they don't have Jamal
And
Murray,
Reggie
I think
Jackson
they still.
has done great replacing Jamal Murray.
That's true.
No, I think they're gonna be a great team.
And
They
I think
have
the
chance
Nuggets.
to
I think
repeat
the
for
Nuggets
sure.
are honestly in great shape just overall too. Because I mean they have plenty of
Watson has been good.
Julian Strawther's really nice. Christian Brown. I mean they have a
Christian
lot
Brown's taking a big step.
of
But
young pieces as well, so they're in really
they're
good
also
shape
missing.
overall.
I think Bruce Brown was a big.
Yeah, I think they're missing like one more piece.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, and rightfully so, we want to give them extra points from making the finals, and they deserve it to an extent. But at the same time, I don't want to put them like really
On that
levels. I
pedestal,
don't want to
yeah.
put them levels above the Celtics, the Sixers, the Bucks,
The Clippers.
the
Healthy
Clippers.
Clippers.
I think they're just right in the mix with everybody else. They won 1 year, that's awesome, but that does not guarantee, does not give them extra points to win it this year.
If they win
The
this,
fact of the matter, two peats don't come all that often.
if they do win this year, then I'll
That
start
is-
being like, okay, yeah, they're just on another level.
Then we're starting looking at dynasties, right? Then we're looking at Jokic as an all-time player, which I think he
I mean, I think
talent-wise
he
he
already
already is. Talent-wise he
Yeah.
for sure is.
I think we can go to Deacons.
Yeah, let's do
conference
So I
finals
got
matchup.
Boston, Philadelphia, a rematch. Oh, I know. Oh, they did play
No,
the
they did play last year.
semis last year, conference semis.
And that was one heck of a choke show, honestly.
Yeah, the Sixers had it in their grasp, and I think they
They traded Harden, so
no, they don't do it this year. I think Celtics are just too good.
yeah.
I think when it matters most, I think Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Holiday,
Warford.
White. I think they're just going to be better,
Yeah.
And I think they're going to step up. I think they'll win. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just too talented, man.
Not to contradict myself too much, but Drew Holiday he's a winner. I remember when the Los Angeles Celtics did make the finals, what were they missing? A true playmaking point guard that had the threat scoring.
Drew Holiday.
Marcus Smart did not really have either one of those.
I mean, like, I think a lot of people are underrating him just because he hasn't had the same role this year. Like, he's not taking as many shots, but
But, he doesn't need to.
man, come playoff time, he's going to be so important.
If he needs to take a shot, he will.
Celtics in 7. I still think
Oh,
the
7
Sixers
still.
are really good.
Hell
But
yeah,
yeah,
really.
I think we have the same. No, you have the Heat, Clippers, and I have the Celtics, Clippers.
You got 2 C's. The C's won it for you, I think.
You want to go first?
Yes. This is honestly, I don't know why this is the hardest one for me to pick. Part just because I don't like one of these teams particularly, and I love the other. And part because they've been there so many times recently, and part because they're the one injury prone, and they might get injured at this point or the series before.
I mean, low-key, both are kind of injury prone.
Yeah, but
Porzingis.
They are.
I have the Heat and the Clippers, ding dong.
Oh, you have the Heat. I was
Yeah,
thinking you
they're
had the
both injury
Celtics. as
prone.
well.
How are they injury prone?
Oh, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
But he
Butler,
don't
Tyler
respond.
Hero.
Yeah, but I mean, not like the Clippers.
No, but it's
Every team is banged up.
Bam Adebayo.
Part of playing the NBA is you get banged up and you like your body is gonna have bruises. But I'm talking about missing games, like missing games.
Oh, Jimmy Butler doesn't miss games.
Not in
Okay,
the
okay.
playoffs.
So we've gone this far with
He did miss a couple games in the playoffs.
Like, make a,
Well,
like, the Clippers are gonna make, they have a chance of having
Yeah, who do you have on?
the Heat in 7.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Just because
Holy Jesus.
the Clippers could get hurt at any
Jeez.
moment and it's close.
Holy jeez.
If the Clippers, okay, the bottom lining, if the Clippers are healthy,
Insane.
the Clippers are
yeah, I
healthy.
know.
Guys, every single season, guys, look at it, like right now. That's what I'm saying. On paper, the Celtics win it all, but that's not how the NBA works.
That's not how it works.
That's not how the NBA
Not how it
works.
works,
If
brother.
we look at preseason predictions, even our own,
But you said it
Nothing
yourself,
goes
Kawhi
according to
Leonard
plan.
was like Michael Jordan.
Yes,
of
but
the
he's
NBA.
also he's gonna get
guys,
injured.
my point is, on paper, I take the
So
Clippers
now injuries are
on
a thing.
paper.
Like
On-
all playoffs they weren't, and now in the final.
Well, they
they're
can
injured.
strike any time, guys. My point is,
Hey
predictions.
guys,
I'm
you're
trying to
making
I'm,
fun now, but just watch what.
guys, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point, though. if anything could happen. That's exactly my point. This is how the NBA works.
Yeah,
On
the Heat
paper,
might
if
not
the
even be in the
Clippers are
playoffs.
healthy, if the Clippers are healthy, they sweep them or win in 5.
He may not even be in the playoffs.
The fact of the matter is, this is not how basketball works,
Time
man.
for my
Bouncing, have you
prediction.
met the Heat? They're going to be in the playoffs.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is not how.
I mean, they could
Guys,
lose.
For the next
the same
5
thing doesn't
seasons,
happen
I want
every
you to
year.
make predictions, and your predictions will be so off. The most professionals, ESPN, everybody, they predict like last season, the Warriors are gonna make it to the finals. Not even close. The Warriors are great, and like nothing goes. Nuggets. Nobody was talking about the Nuggets in the top 6 favorites to win it,
I was.
and the Nuggets were one of the most dominant teams ever. Right. We're talking about dynasty. My point is, like, things don't go as planned. Like, things are going to change.
Yeah.
Even halfway through the season, the Nuggets didn't look like they were going to win it all.
Okay.
All right, so let me see yours is right.
So no, what I'm saying
What makes
is
us wrong?
well, exactly that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I
Is
think the
there
Clippers. I think the Clippers are better,
There's a next.
but there's so many
Obviously,
factors.
the one and
Yeah.
only Cleveland
Exactly
Cavaliers.
my
That's
point.
what-
And
I mean, they were
everyone's,
all-
and everyone's a factor.
They were all there last year. Nuggets and Heat were in the finals.
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, and he doesn't
The
have
season before, Bucks and Suns. How many people were predicting the Bucks and the Suns in
Alright.
the finals?
All right.
What's yours?
It's time for my prediction.
Thank you.
So obviously I have the Celtics versus the Clippers. The Clippers are a team of destiny, baby. Russ is going to win the MVP.
Sweet.
Not the league MVP.
If he's
Finals.
winning Finals MVP, I'm rooting for the Clippers, but he won't. So
Oh.
I'm not.
No, I think it'll be Kawhi, obviously. I think the Clippers.
I don't know. Don't
Depends
you
on
want
how
to do
healthy
it?
he
I think
is.
the Clippers win in 6.
Depends on how healthy Kawhi is.
I
Paul
just-
George.
Health
It
of.
could be Paul George. Like if Kawhi misses 2 games,
They're not going
Paul
to get
George
injured.
has a few.
If Jimmy Butler misses 4 games. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That can happen, but it's just the probability.
Why do you only say Kawhi?
Because he doesn't like Kawhi and he likes
Forget
Jimmy.
about Paul George,
I
James
just said Paul
Harden,
George.
Russell Westbrook, Plumlee.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if Paul George gets injured,
If you think about it, you
Paul
can't
George
have
is
a
hurt.
debate
If
about
Kawhi's
any-
Finals MVP, if Kawhi's hurt, then he wouldn't be Finals MVP. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Guys, at the end of the day, if we
Greatest
really think about
all
it,
time.
you can't debate any of these predictions because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's exactly my point.
But you're
Exactly
For
my
all you
point.
know, it's going to be the Hornets.
it will not be the one.
And I like the odds of my predictions.
Guarantee
Is all
you
I'm
that.
saying. I don't hate the odds, even though I have the
Watch
Celtics
them
in my
be
favor.
there.
All right. Well,
How many games?
6. I just think the Clippers are going to.
I just want to see a 7-game like finals again. It should be so much fun. It's just so much more
Yeah,
fun.
last
What
year
was
was
the
so
last
boring.
one?
5? No, was it? Yeah.
No, I
5.
meant last 7-game series.
Oh.
Was that?
Cleveland versus
Probably
Warriors.
Cleveland. Probably Cleveland. That was probably 2016.
It was
famous-
almost
not
the
that-
Toronto versus Golden State, but that
Wait,
was game 6.
And again, another game that
Oh,
was
yeah.
plagued by injuries. Another like Toronto Raptors was a miracle run.
Yeah, I mean,
They played great, but it was
Well,
a
they
miracle
missed.
run.
They were missing Clay, Boogie. No, Boogie.
Dre got suspended. I think
I
Dre
always
missed
forget
the-
guys.
Marcus Cousins was on that team.
Before they even made it to the finals, they had to have the Kawhi lucky shot against
Exactly.
the
It's just like
Sixers.
so many things happen, guys. Like so many things happen.
Yeah.
But I think Clippers win. I think
I
Russ
got
wins
the
Finals
Hornets.
MVP. He cements his place as the best point guard of all time.
Me personally, Hornets are winning it all, but
Okay. Well,
that's my pick.
thank you guys for watching. Let us know your predictions. Let us know how crazy his
He-
prediction is.
Win it all. It's the time.
Who's winning this?
It's 100% correct. It's guaranteed.
See ya.